Hello, guys. Today I'm playing GTA 5, and now I'm so annoyed right now because I have to do the whole entire video all over again because uh the 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 second voiceover didn't work, and I sometimes get impatient when it comes to video editing. Like when it comes to making scratch games, I'm fine. And like if there's like relaxing music while I do something that I had to do again, then I'm fine. But there's nothing here to make me relax. So anyway, let's just get into the point. So I fought a bunch of people because they looked like they wanted to fight me, and they did. So I grabbed up my hammer and I started whacking a bunch of people, especially the pharmacy, so that way they won't come after me. And then there's 3 more people that come out, and then I decide to get them too. And the police are getting me. If you could see the blue and red on my screen, and then they try to take care of the rest, but then I smack them on the ground with my hammer. And then I start running to see if there's any more people. And there's a whole bunch of them. But then they find out that I'm a criminal, and I pull out my gun because that means I know the cops here. And then I kill some there, and then I get the person on my side, and then I get the person on my other side, and then I start running inside the car. But first I shoot that guy, and then I start running inside the car and start driving inside of a cop car. And then I run some people over trying to get enough stars as I can. Then I hit a pole. And then after I take a turn, and then a cop is going to try to block me here or somewhere. So like you see that corner, he's going to try to block me in. And I escape. And then he tries to do it again, but on here. And he does it again. But I pull up my brakes, and then I start going. 2 of them try to block me, but then I open the car window, and I accidentally hit my head on the pole. So I then died. So I then come back from the hospital, and I decide to do a few jobs, because I was running out of money, and I decided to call a taxi because sometimes I do that for my work. And Simon was not available because I just broke his window, and now he has to pay all the stuff for it. And Franklin's no longer employee of the month. Great. So then I start waiting for my taxi, and it comes right there. But instead of hijacking it, I then get distracted and go to I don't really. It doesn't have a name, so let's just call it a park. It's not really a park, but yeah. So I then got distracted. And when I did, I knew it, so I called another taxi, and then I went back inside. But instead, I hijacked it. So I tried to, drive as fast as I can, because every time I hijack a taxi, they're either like nice and they run away, or bad, or like mean, and they try to get me out of the car and fight me. But instead, it was different. So I accidentally ran over a lady, and I then looked for someone to pick up by pressing L3 if you have PlayStation. Just wanted to make sure if you have console. So then I start driving, but this was a bit tricky because there was no place to get out. And what kind of stupid guy puts a car inside of a place like this? So I find a backup plan, and I see the ramp. But that was before. So I decided to try to jump off a cliff. And when I mean cliff, I mean that cliff. Yeah, not much of a cliff, but something like that. But instead, I tried getting out of the car, but that didn't work. So I get back in, and I noticed a ramp. So I tried driving into it, and then I hit the car in the middle. And then I finally drive into it without hitting anybody. Plus, I don't want to get wanted. So then I tried driving down the stairs, which was a bit risky, but I did it. So I start driving through the highway to look for the person that needs my help. So I drive on this side and I accidentally hit a car. And now we're gonna get in the highway soon once we pick up the passenger, because his place was pretty far. So now I hit a pole once again, and then I finally figure out this guy's pretty far, but not that far. So I start driving and I see him somewhere on the side. So I take a turn, and then he's right there. So I move farther a little, so that way he could get in. And I don't want to make some spoilers ahead, because the guy's going to do something crazy. Not full-on crazy, because I catched him. So we go ahead and start driving, just like the way I wackly, that's not a word, but just pretend it is. How I weirdly drive crookedly. Crookedly? Oh, okay, just pretend that's a word too. So then we keep driving, and his destination's pretty far. So I don't really know why he needs to go there. Maybe he lives there or he got lost somewhere. And then there's this like little square turn, which could have been the smooth one, but then I hit a pole. So we're in the highway now, and I start driving weirdly, but we'll make it out alive, don't worry. And also, by the way, make sure that if you're in a cab with me, just make sure you put on your seatbelt and you're in the back. So, like, that way you won't die. But, do like, passengers sit next to people on the taxi who's driving? Because that would be creepy. Do they just sit in there? Or sit in the back? Or something like that? First one's creepy. Second one's most commonly normal. But, yeah. So we're still driving, and it's starting to get nighttime. So my car is scratched, and I hit a car again. So it's even more scratched. I was about to say something smart, but then it got scratched. So we keep driving to the place he needs to go, and then we start going somewhere, because I'm starting to see houses, so I think the destination's pretty close. So then we start going there, and we arrive there. I knew it because of the homes. So then, instead, he tries to run away, but I run him over, and I get the money I deserve. So I go ahead, pick up the money, and kick the guy, because he deserves it. And then I decided to run away and let the cops get him. I did good today. And now they're trying to blame it on me. I'm trying to get my money. How can you blame it on me? He's a criminal. You take him, not me. Forget it. So we start the cop chase on, and then the cops behind us, and I broke the car door, so I decided to hit the brakes, and I was gonna run him over, but then I hesitated. Then I went back, and then I tried to smush the car, but it moved, and then it tries to block me, but then I squished myself inside and into the highway again. So I go first person mode, so that way I could focus more on what I'm doing and how things are gonna work. So I then keep getting hit by the cops, but I try my best. And also, not to mention that the wheel is kind of burst. So I bump into a car and my car flips. Did you just see that? That was like an explosion, but I survived. So then I jump out the car because my car was about to explode, and then I decided to find a hiding spot down here, inside of the beach, because I thought it could be like an ultimate fight. So then I figure out nobody's there, so I bring out my shotgun and I start getting up, and then they try to find me. So I see a guy hidden inside the rocks, and then I go for it. Boom, boom, boom. All right. So he's gone, and now I have no choice but to go up to get the rest. Cause if they go down, it's gonna be a surprise for me. So I take down two of the people, and I start speeding into the car, and then I go ahead, starting the cop chase once again. And then the cop car hits me, damaging the car super hard. And then we're back on the highway again, driving. Well, I wouldn't really call it highway because I'm starting to see houses. So my car is frequently busted. So I try to find a place where I could steal a car, but instead I start driving and my fate comes. So I jump out the car, and I thought I'd be safe in the water, but my car explodes, and I die with it. Wasted. So, yeah, that's how Michael's was. I got chased by cops again, and chased by cops again. I got chased by cops 3 times. So, now we're going on to Franklin. So I decide to move to Franklin because, Michael had a long day. So then I switched back to Franklin, having a good time, and Franklin comes out of a certain pharmacy or something. I don't really know. So I decided to make a waypoint to my house, and I start driving there. And it would be a pretty fast drive because I have a motorcycle. And if you know my history of motorcycles, then you're either crazy or crazy. So I just love motorcycles in this game because you could run people over with it. And you could also smack into cars and fly in the air by hitting a car so much that the gravity will pull you up. It's super fun. So I started driving to where I need to go, and this place kind of looks like Japan. Cause did you see the two homes over there? So yeah, we're in the highway for some reason. I don't really know. It could have been more easier. Then I take a little shortcut, cause I'm all about shortcuts. Because if we find a shortcut, then we could go to our destination easily. So it's more better if we do that. So then I'm pretty close to my house, and we're out of the highway, and I find my house, and I decide to park the motorcycle next to my house, and now I have a green motorcycle. But I don't really need that green motorcycle because I have a car. And so I use my car, and obviously I run over the girl that keeps yapping for me to do a Strangers and Freaks mission. I actually hate that mission, so I'm not doing it. So I try to look for people to find while the lady just passed out. But it was worth it, okay? Worth it. So 14 minutes in, I can't believe I've been yapping for 14 minutes, but I just love doing commentary. So let's keep this going. I start driving, and then I find my passenger, and I'm driving into a wrong lane, and I might die. So I turn around. I'm not really physically driving into a wrong lane because I'm going exactly where they are. I'm just trying to pick up the passenger so I could then take a turn, but they were at the wrong place at the wrong time. But it was kind of my fault because So I almost hit a pole, and then that causes me to hit a car. So 15 minutes in, and I just passed a red light and dodged a car by going to another lane and past a red light and goes to another lane and goes to another lane and goes to another lane and goes to another lane, but instead hits my car. So I then go to another lane and hit my car. And then I go on the sidewalk, and then I go back into the lane, and then I take another lane, and then I take another lane, and another lane, and another lane, and another sidewalk. So 16 minutes in, my eyes are starting to hurt on this commentary. So 60 minutes in, I finally find the passenger where it needs to go, and I finally get paid instead of going to jail. So then I decide to go back to my house by making a waypoint there. So then I drive myself after a good day of work, and I'd probably get my car repaired later. So I make a waypoint, and I accidentally go to the wrong place, but so. So I accidentally hit a biker, and I miss a red light, and then I changed lanes again, and passed a red light, and then turned around my car on accident, and then start driving. And the front of my car looks basically busted if you just saw it. So I start driving with my combusted car that looks like it's gonna go on fire, but don't worry, I'll fix it later, just like I said. So I'm driving, missing red lights, and hitting buses, and breaking random stuff. So I'm super close to my home, and when I got back to my home, I wished I could run over the lady again, but she doesn't just respawn over and over again. So I then hit a pole and take a turn. And I figure out I'm going the wrong way, so I go to my personal vehicle to bring this car back in my garage where it came from. Yeah, it totally came from there, totally. Maybe it didn't, maybe it didn't. Maybe it didn't, maybe it did. Okay? That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying that I didn't take it. I'm not saying that I did take it. Lady, get out of my home. Get out of my garage. It's my garage. So I move my car away, and I figure out that my green car was parked perfectly. But then these people decide to fight me, so I pull out the gun and shoot them all. And this person was a part of it too, so he got shot too. So then I start running, and I tried to find the lady again so I could shoot her, but no, that's not happening. So I then tried to find a car, so I decided to shoot both of the cops and steal their car. So I take out both of them, and then I go ahead, use the car, and start driving. The cops try to block me, but then I soon dodge. So my car does a whole entire flip, and I get out the car because I thought it would blow up. So I get back in the car because they're blocking me, and my health is pretty low. So I start driving. I don't think you can really see my health bar because the screen is pretty cramped, but I'm just telling you. So my car does a whole flip and almost runs over a random civilian. So I'm in the highway right now. I wouldn't really say that, but something like that. So yeah, I'm in the highway. I don't know when sidewalks were in highways, but then my car starts to flip out, and my my car seat and everything in the car is safe. But it did break, so I tried to shoot the helicopter from above, but then it starts to retreat. But it doesn't physically retreat. It just tries to go up so that it can retrieve the damage. And then I hit a car again. And then we're back in the highway. I start driving and running people over, trying to get as many stars as I can. And then I hit a truck, and then whatever that thing was fell on the highway, and so did that lady. She gone. So then I jump out the thing, and my car door broke, so they could just shoot me out from there. But hopefully they won't. So I soon then start driving, and there was a bad guy trying to shoot me, and the cop at the same time. Are y'all teaming or something? So anyway, back to the chase. We're still driving, and I start hitting cars maniacally. That's not a word, but again, just pretend it is. Okay? So I hit another car, then I change a few lanes, and then I go on the other side because I knew I'd be cooked there. But, so, probably because of the police officer, he made me go the right lane, but then I switched back to the other lane. So I go back, hit the brakes, and then start going. The whole entire skin on the wheel is physically gone. And now I cannot steer that well. So I get out the car, and then I try to go into an old man's car. But they try to fight with me, so I snap them, and then I start driving. And also, the car door snapped with it. So we keep going, and I pass a red light. That should be even more charge. And I almost run somebody over, but instead I hit a fire hydrant. And then I run this fat guy over. And we're 22 minutes in. The video is almost ending. So 3 more minutes until the video ends. So the cop tries to block me, and then he keeps going back and forth, trying to block me from where I'm going. But then this is probably the end, because I think this is it. So we go to the park again, and when we're at the park, I go in the parking lot. And in the parking lot, it's pretty cramped because of all the cops. And I have nowhere else to go. So I start driving and keep driving and I try to dodge as many cones as I can. But then it pushes me away, and it moves me to there. So I get stuck a bit, but I get back and I get back in stealth mode and start driving. I should have ducked while in the car, but I had no choice. I go back in first person, just knowing that my car is busted. This might be the end. So I hit a few things, and I decide to hit him. And then there's another bad guy that was been following me, and he then shoots me, and that's the end.